G'day guys and welcome back to Jans_Gaming for another Dokkan Battle video. So for today's video we're going through the team building guide for the AGL Omega Shenron. As you'll see, a bit of a tough one to build around, but like it is what it is. So firstly, don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to keep up with the content. I do make team building guides for all of the new units that do come out. So jumping straight on into it, for our teams here you can see we've got Shadow Dragon Saga, Full Power, Transformation Boost, Inhuman Deeds, Power Absorption, Powerful Comeback, GT Bosses, with that being his 200% leader skill, and also Battle of Fate. So for the links, we've got Brutal Beatdown, Big Bad Bosses, GT, Fear and Faith, Shadow Dragons, Fierce Battle, and Legendary Power. So clearly, you want to be running him with other GT Bosses units to get the most out of him, because his kit does, pretty heavily revolve around that. So we do have the three options that share 6 links with the AGL Omega. So we've got the physical EZA, we've got the tech banner unit, and then we also have the, I guess we'll call it the Battlefield LR Shadow Dragons as well. So a couple options in there. I think tech's probably the most viable of these. But I guess if you're going into like sort of just a showcase setting, I think you could definitely get away with the Int Shadow Dragons there. Dropping down to 5 links here, so we do have the physical Janemba, still a solid unit, but doesn't really fulfill a lot of the requirements of Omega's passive. Then we jump into the 4 link section, so a couple of options we'll probably use regularly here. So you got the AGL Super Boo, who's really good. We've got the STR 18s, 17s, geez, going insane. You've got the Metal Rildo, sort of hoping that he gets his EZA soon to help out Shenron. We've got the Tech Zamasu Gaosu, the Tech Super 17, who I'd also love to see get a really good EZA. Fingers crossed for that one. And then we've got the Tech Nova and Ice. Definitely a letdown of a unit, but they are a double orb changer, so I think in patches they could be somewhat useful, I guess. Jumping into the 3 link partners, so we've got the STR Cooler there, the AGL Baby, so Baby will be getting his EZA, which is good, number 1 for the stones, but then also because he becomes a really, really solid EZA, so you'll find that we do use him a lot in the team building guides. We've then got Super 17s when you do transform from the 17s. Tech Zamasu, the king of extreme units. We've got the physical Nova and then the Tech Baby as well. So the Tech Baby being the banner unit from the Int Full Power Super Saiyan 4 Goku banner there. So continuing on with the 3 links, we've then got the physical Super Saiyan 4s, physical Metal Cooler, the GT Duo, STR Cooler, Int Zamasu, and then the Int Full Power Super Saiyan 4 Goku. So just by running through all of that, you can see that we are definitely limited on options of running Omega, but let's jump into those team builds. So the first one, as I mentioned, is his leader skill with the GT bosses, and when you do have a full GT bosses team, Omega is going to look insane. But unfortunately, it's just those bottom couple units that are really going to let you down when you're going into the most difficult content. So we've got the AGL Omega in slot 1, obviously leader and our friend. We've got the STR 17, so it can be really handy with their dodge. We've got AGL Baby, so as I mentioned, really good EZA. We've then got the Tech Shenron Sin, Orb Changer. Can put up pretty decent offensive stats still, to be honest, but we'll share a lot of links with Omega. Then got the STR free-to-play Rildo EZA. If you sort of build him with a full dodge build, I think you might be able to get away floating him, utilising that support. And then we've also got the Int Shadow Dragons. So for the rotations on this one, personally I would go with the STR Omega with the AGL Baby as one of my guaranteed rotations. And then the other rotation obviously depends on the situation, but I think running the 2 Omegas being the Sin and the AGL Omega together is probably the best option. That's going to let you float the STR 17s, and then you could certainly switch Tech Sin out for the STR-17s on rotation. But the main thing is you want to make sure you are floating the STR Rildo and the Shadow Dragons. They're our two support units on the team, but they are also two of the weaker units on the team. So that's the first team. Extremely limited for GT bosses options, unfortunately. The next team, we're just calling it the Tech Zamasu team. Because he's passive. His leader skill is just far too long to list. So we've got Tech Zamasu as our leader there. We've obviously got the AGL Omega. We've got Int Rose, the STR 17s, Int Chilai, and then the AGL Baby again. So for this one, we're only getting the two ally GT boss requirement. So we're only fulfilling part of the passive for Omega. But yeah, obviously a tough one to fulfill regularly. So for the rotations of this one, I would be going the Tech Zamasu with the Int Rose, definitely for one of them. And then the other one sort of depends. You could run Tech Zamasu with the Omega and have that as a rotation, or if you wanted to run a GT Bosses rotation, you could run Baby on rotation as well. So from there, that would leave you to float obviously the unit you don't want to use on rotation there. Then you got the STR-17s and Int Chilai floating there as well. Int Chilai is going to be really handy with her ability to support for C supers, dodge. She literally does it all. She's the goat. The next team we're going to look at is the Power of Wishes / Battle of Fate team, so led by the STR GT duo. Again, we're going back to the well with the same units over and over here. We're just sort of like the same core. You're not going to have the full passive active, but you are going to have some. I guess that's sort of, you take what you're given on this one. So you got the STR GT duo, we've got the AGL Omega Physical Z duo, STR Bulma, the GOAT. Obviously want to bring her on a team wherever we can. We've got the STR 17s and then the AGL Baby. So for this one, I'd be running a GT duo, Z duo combo. That's always really, really effective option. And then I'd be running whichever you prefer. Maybe you prefer the dodges of the 17, or you like the how Baby works with Omega, but it's going to be one of your two GT bosses units alongside the AGL Omega. So you're then going to float the other one, and you're going to float the friend as well as STR Bulma floating with her support and orb changing as well. So again, bit of a wonky one, but just trying to make do with what we've got really. So next team we're going to look at is a Power Absorption team. So for Power Absorption, as you can see here, we do have the AGL Cell as our leader. Not a unit that I love running two of, but I mean, he's our lead. He's our Power Absorption leader. So what can you do? We've got the AGL Omega in there. We've got the AGL Super Boo, who's still really solid. As you saw previously, does link well with the Omega. We've got the AGL Super 17, so a little bit different, I guess. A unit that did Easy A long time ago, but still somewhat viable if you're not going into the craziest content. We've then got the STR 17s, so we're fulfilling two of the requirements for Omega's passive, and then we've got the Int Cell here. So for this team, to be honest, I'd probably go with the Int Cell AGL Cell. I know it doesn't work overly great until you do get AGL Cell fully transformed, but yeah, that's sort of what you're just dealing with there. And then I'd probably run Boo in slot alongside the AGL Omega, and then you get your GT links from your floating GT units. If you didn't want to run Boo on rotation, obviously you could run the STR 17s, but bit of a wonky team build. I wouldn't be bringing this one into the most difficult content, but could be fun to play around with in something that's not a crazy difficult run through, I guess. And then the final team that we're going to look at is the Full Power / GT Heroes team. For this one, you're literally just using Omega as a floating orb changer. He's not going to serve a great deal of value outside of that. So for rotation, I mean, well, we'll go through the team. Obviously, we've got the Int Super Saiyan 4, the STR GT Duo, AGL Omega, Physical Super Saiyan 4s, the World Tournament Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, and then the AGL Super Saiyan 2 Gohan as well. So for this one, it would be rotations of the Int Super Saiyan 4 Goku with the GT Duo, and then in Super Saiyan 4 Goku with the physical Super Saiyan 4s, and then, yeah, as I mentioned, you're just using the other three as floaters. Yeah, definitely not my craziest favorite team build from the video, but another team that you could trial out. I guess his utility with the orb changing and whatnot can be pretty handy. But yeah, definitely wouldn't be my go-to team. So the two teams that I would recommend, I think GT Bosses is obviously where he's at his best with that full passive active. Omega will look absolutely insane. And then I think it could also be worth testing him out on the Tech Zamasu team here, just because of, I guess, the available units that we have and the fact that Tech Zamasu is so insanely busted as well. But let me know down below which of the ones you're thinking of running him on. GT Bosses is always going to be the easy choice. So thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to keep up with the content, and hopefully I'll catch you all on the next video.